I'm Dana K. White. I am the author of Decluttering at the Speed of Life, How to Manage Your Home Without Losing Your Mind, other books, and I'm going to talk about getting back on track. Welcome back, welcome back to the channel because I took the summer off. This is my first video back after taking my summer off to not really rest necessarily, but be able to do the things with my family that I needed to be able to do, getting kids ready to leave. We're now empty nesters. So I just want to talk about getting back on track today. Getting back on track for people who basically are like, what's the big deal about keeping my house under control? It's like, oh, I just need to focus a little and get back on track, right? But for the person who maybe like me has spent a lot of their life overwhelmed and bewildered by their home, if you felt like you were getting some traction in your house and then the loosey-goosiness of a season that doesn't have the same schedule and the same routines, it can really throw you for a loop. Like, that was my story for so long. It's generally still my story after loosey-goosey times. This summer, I feel like we did pretty well at keeping things under control, but there's always that getting back to how things are. My dog is eating her dog food right over here. And I tried to explain to her that I was making a video, and she was like, yeah, I'm hungry. Anyway, I know, and I just don't have the heart to put away her food, but she's a little chompy and slobbery. So if you hear that, I'm sorry. Anyway, but here we are. It is back to routine. Whatever your current life phase, this applies to any time where you feel like, oh my goodness, everything is out of whack. And I have lost all the progress that I've made in the past. What do I do now? How do you get back on track? Well, you get back on track by doing the two things that are also the things that I recommend you do if you've never had a routine before that's been successful. If you're just completely overwhelmed and you're like, what in the world do I need to do differently? These two things are the things. Y'all know what I'm gonna say, right? But it's a really good reminder. Number one, do the dishes. Do the dishes. Say that over and over in your head or out loud if you need to. Do the dishes. If you look around the house and the house is completely out of control again, or it's always been out of control, do the dishes. Here's the thing. Anytime when I'm overwhelmed, I say to myself, what has to be done anyway? What is something that has to be done anyway if I was ever to get to the goal where I want to be of a house, that's under control or whatever it is, right? Dishes are something that has to be done anyway. It can feel like, what is the point? Everything is out of place. It looks like a tornado hit in here. That doesn't matter. I have to do something, so do the dishes, because the dishes have an effect on your entire house. They make everything run more smoothly, and they also, if they're not done, they stay as this nagging guilt of, oh my goodness, I have to do the dishes, because they have to be done, right? It's this nagging guilt in the back of your mind that makes any other stuff that I need to do harder and also not as impactful, right? Because I can work really hard on my house and then the kitchen's still a disaster and I'm like, well, did I really do anything? Did it really make any difference? Doing the dishes makes a difference. Let that continue into cleaning your kitchen, all right? But if you can't do anything else, do the dishes. If you can't do the dishes, do a few dishes. That is a way to break through that freezing that happens out of the feeling of being overwhelmed by all that there is to do. Do the dishes. The other thing, the second thing to do when you're ready to get back on track, do a 5-minute pickup. Set a timer for 5 minutes, and I really mean 5 minutes, even if you're saying out loud to me right now from your house or wherever you are, 5 minutes won't make an impact on this. This is beyond 5 minutes, right? Do 5 minutes anyway. Take a picture, set a timer for 5 minutes, and take another picture at the end of 5 minutes. Just to see the impact that you can make in 5 minutes. Start with the most visible surfaces. Picking things up, putting them away all the way, not shoving them to the side of things to do later, but actually taking things all the way to their real home. The best way to do this if you're super overwhelmed is to grab a trash bag. My favorite thing to do when I am super overwhelmed and I am starting a 5-minute pickup is to grab a grocery sack and start throwing away trash. Why? Because trash has to be done anyway. It is the thing that will make the biggest visible impact. And if it is really bad, I can spend that whole 5 minutes throwing away trash and my house is so much better for it. At the end of the 5 minutes, when the timer goes off, take another picture, compare those two, see what you can do in 5 minutes. And if you want to keep going, which often happens because you're inspired and wow, look at the pictures, look at the difference I can make in 5 minutes. Great, keep going. If not, it's still worth it to have done the 5 minutes. These are the 2 tasks that will get a house under control, will keep a house under control, and are the way to get back on track when things have backslidden or gotten back out of control. Here's the thing. It is very normal and natural to think that if you were doing well before this loosey-goosey time, let's say it's summer like we just came out of right now, if you were doing well and then things got bananas and everything got out of place because you didn't do many 5-minute pickups over the course of however long and you ended up with dishes out of control, whatever, it feels like you're back to square one. But you're just getting back on track, okay? So let's say here was the beginning of the train and here was the track for all this time, all right? And you're here and you're completely off track. But you know what to do to get back on track. You do the dishes, you do a 5-minute pickup. You're back on track here. It feels like you're back to here, but you're not. The real progress that you made in the past, whether that was learning the impact of doing the dishes and doing a 5-minute pickup, whether that was the decluttering progress that you made and you got things really truly out of your house. So even though everything's out of place, it's a lot less stuff than it was before. You are not back where you started. Just get back on track. And the way to do that, dishes and a 5-minute pickup. Those are the 2 things. Of course there's more. Of course there's more to think about and to do and to work on in your house. But if you've never focused in on those 2 tasks, you'll be shocked at the power of those 2 tasks. If you did those 2 tasks, realize their power, got off track, and think that you have to start all over again with a new plan, you don't. Go back to doing the dishes and the 5-minute pickup, and you will be amazed at the impact. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Did want to let you know that Get Organized HQ is coming up very soon. I'm one of the keynote speakers. If you would like to watch my session for free, all you have to do is go to aslobcomesclean.com/HQ and sign up for your free ticket there. And then you will get notified about the schedule and you'll be able to watch my session for free for the first 24 hours after it goes live. All right, I will talk to y'all later. Bye.